So you said you wanted to learn how to cook with the crew. Looking for you is like episode 13, 14. And I also heard you want to learn how to make some meatball subs. But not just any meatball subs. Italian meatball subs. Let me tell you, I'm about to teach you a recipe passed down from my mother's brothers, sisters, uncles, all the way back from Sicily. So, you ready to learn? You didn't hear it from me, okay? Alright, you guys, here we have all the ingredients all laid out and ready to go. So here, I'm using a pound of ground beef, or you can use a pound and a half. Dropping it into my large bowl. Here we have 3/4 cups of parsley diced, 1 large egg. Here we're going to add 3/4 cups of panko flakes. After that, 3/4 cups of Parmesan cheese. After that, we're going to add half a teaspoon of garlic powder, a full teaspoon of salt, and finally, half a teaspoon of pepper. After we get all the ingredients together, move on to the next step. Alrighty, you guys, we have all the ingredients in our bowl right here. Now, let's get down and dirty, folks. We're going to go ahead and mix all the ingredients together, make sure they're nice and homogeneous together. No large clumps of any kind of dry ingredients. And here we are, the nice large meatball that we're going to cook. Actually, we're going to go ahead and take that large ball and form it into smaller meatballs. And here, just standard procedure. Rolling into a ball, slapping it together. Look at that nice little egg-shaped meatball. Looking good, looking good. And there you have 7 meatballs ready to be seared and cooked. How about we start on that, huh? Here we have a nice ripping hot pan. Here are my raw meatballs. And here's where I'm going to place the cooked seared meatballs. So here, I'm just going to start placing these little guys down. And I've coated this pan with olive oil just so they don't stick and they'll retain some flavor of the olive oil. Alrighty, looks like I've seared them just enough. I'm going to grab these bad boys, make sure not to crush them, and just flip them onto another side so I can start the sear. Just like with all the other meatballs, doing the same exact thing. So I'm just going to sear all these sides, make sure to cook them just enough, just so all the sides are nice and brown, and I'll move on to the next step. Here we have the seared meatballs. Grabbing the marinara sauce, and I'm going to use the same pan that I had for the meatballs for the marinara sauce. That way I can also take up the flavors of the meatballs. So here, I'm going to set it on a low heat, let it simmer till it lightly bubbles. After that, we'll add the meatballs in there. Alright guys, this step is completely optional. I decided to do it, but I took 2 garlic cloves, gave them a good dice, and I'm tossing them into my marinara sauce. I'm a big fan of garlic, so for me, there's no such thing as too much garlic. Alrighty folks, I switched over to a deeper pot. That way I can put in all the meatballs and soak them completely in the sauce. Nice and bubbly. And I'm going to go ahead and start adding the meatballs. One by one, dipping them into their final bath. Alright you guys, so we're at the midpoint with these meatballs and I'm telling you, it smells amazing. Look at this. Meatballs are looking good. So now, Alexa, set a 20-minute timer.
20 minutes, starting now.
We're gonna have to marinate in there for about 20 minutes, let it soak up all the juices, and finish up cooking up those meatballs. But while we wait, Morgan, what do you got for me today?
Hello friends, and welcome to another edition of What Coffee Am I Gonna Make This Morning? So to start out, per usual, I have a cup of ice and I have some espresso. And so first step is to take, this is probably about 2.5 shots of espresso, and I'm gonna pour it over my ice because of course we're doing iced coffee today. And next I'm gonna take my milk, which is oat milk today, shocker, and I'm gonna add that in and give it a bit of a stir. Now this, my friends, is where you're gonna think I get crazy, okay? I'm gonna take a little bit of creamer, and a right, and a little bit of my milk. And a little bit of green food coloring. In honor of St. Patrick's Day this past week and Earth Day next month, we're gonna do some green foam on top. All right, and we're just gonna stir that up. All right, and the fun part about this is that you can add whatever you want to it. I have peppermint syrup I could add, or brown sugar, or any flavors you want to add. But today I'm just going like it is. Wow. Wow. And there you have it, a festive cup of coffee. Cheers. I can't stop thinking about adding peppermint syrup, so I grabbed some. It's gonna be like a shamrock shake, but not at all because it's coffee. Just a little. And whoop.
Alright guys, let's go ahead and take our bun here. Split it right down in half. I'm going to go ahead and take some olive oil here and coat both sides with it. Light drizzle. And I'll take my brush and make sure it's added on completely. And I'll go ahead and put it on this pan right here. Pop it in the oven on broil and let it toast nice and well. You can have a sub with, what is it, Ron? Fresh mozzarella. I have to say mozzarella because I'll get chastised by my New Jersey friends if I don't say it correctly. But for everyone else, I got some fresh mozzarella here. And these have come pre-cut. And I'm just going to make them a little smaller. And here I have my toasted bread. Ooh, looking good. And here we go. We're going to go ahead and build our sub. Ooh, look at them steaming. 1 meatball. 2 meatballs. 3 meatballs. Oh yeah. It's looking a little bit dry, so I'm going to go ahead and take some of that marinara sauce and drizzle all over. Show us that pour, Ron. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, too good. My mouth is watering already. And here I'm going to arrange the mozzarella, or the mozzarella, onto the sub. You can't help yourself, can you, Ron? Just can't help it. That's alright. We'll go ahead and put it back on the baking pan. Throw it back in the oven for another broil. That way the mozzarella can go ahead and melt just a little more. El Primo Italiano meatball sub. I could have made it better. I could have melted the cheese a little more. That's fine. I'm going to take a bite out of it, as I always do. Yeah. Oh, man. That's good. My goodness, that's good. Yeah, so we can do, have some of that sauce inside. Some of that sauce on the side. Dip it, or just pour it all over. There is no wrong way to eat this sub. Thanks for watching.